Hi, Virgo. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor. This is your reading for January 2023. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I offer private readings. I'm having a special where I'm offering one question reading for $30 with 10 to 15 minutes. All right. And ground yourself in your desires. That's a little mini message. That's an interesting message, right? I just did the air signs. It's very early in the morning. It's like 5. I woke up super early and I was like, I can't sleep. I might as well just do the right. And so after I did air, I was like, it's time to do earth. And then I got the message and I was like, well, who's it for? And it said Virgo. So here we go. So I think ground yourself in your desires means, not in somebody else's desires. And, it's like, what do you want? What is your will? Okay, we start with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, comes in fast and furious with like an idea, a message, an understanding. Sometimes I see it as like a brain flash. It's like, and then I have the Justice card, and Justice is illuminated, really illuminated, and it's balanced. Nice. And then I have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is another really interesting card. But if I break it down to its basic essence, I'll show you the cards. There's the Knight, who moves really quickly, by the way, and Justice, and then this one. So, like, if I break the Cups down to its real essence, it's a change in passion, a change in feeling, like there's a change going on. All right. It's almost the card of Virgo. It really is. Because he works really hard and he's going to perfect something, and he doesn't leave any details out. And he learns as he goes. Craftsperson, apprentice, learning something new, getting really good at something, getting really good at something. It's a new direction. It's new inspiration. It's hope. It's a new balance. It's again a balancing card. Be confident. Be confident in your passion. That's the thing, is that, so many times, like, I have a passion for something and, nobody really quite understands it. And it's like, do they have to? Do they have to? Because sometimes you meet somebody and they're super excited about what they do. And it's not something that's like interesting to me, but I always admire when somebody has like real passion for what they do. I was at a meetup last week, which is like you practice Spanish English, and I met this guy, and he's a what do you call it, mechanical engineer, very young, a nice person, but not, I don't know, not the most exciting person I've ever met. And he started showing me, because he makes these, or he designs these things that something to do with the oil industry, where like the oil can't escape, so there has to be like this vacuum or something like that. I don't know. And he's like showing it to me, and I was honestly a little bit bored, but he was so passionate about it that you know, I sat there and I ask questions, and you know, I gave him room to be passionate, right? I gave him room to be passionate. I gave him, because it was like he was really into it, and it was like, good for you, bro. It's not, it doesn't, you know. So who's to, I don't know what it is, but I feel the change is really going on like emotionally, like maybe uh you're getting a calling, you like you used to really care about a certain thing, and now, and maybe you were disappointed with it, whatever, but it's there's like a new emotional thing that's going on that you're really involved and excited about, and you know it's not about what other people, it's about your grounding your passion, right? Yeah. And getting fresh new ideas as you go, creative thinking, creative thinking. Look at this, another page. All the pages have an energy of use, and they have an energy of starting something new. And the thing that's really interesting about the pages, this is the way I understand it. Um, I always feel like the pages is like they're inexperienced. That well, they are inexperienced, and it's almost like beginner's luck, right? It's like it's not even beginner's luck. I didn't want to say that. Well, I did, but uh, like it not working out is not even part of like their. It's not even in their head. It's not even in their head, because it's like they don't have enough, because let's say you've been trying to do something, and you've met this brick wall and that brick wall, and but you really like it and you keep on trying and blah blah blah, and maybe it didn't really go the way you wanted it to, or you were disappointed or blah blah blah. The pages have an energy of, sure, it'll work. It's because they haven't had the experience of it not working, you know. So I was telling somebody a story last night. Uh, a million years ago, this is like 40 years ago, right? I went somewhere, and it was on a river, like a lazy river, almost more like a canal than a river in a way. I mean, it was a river, but it was like a lazy river. It wasn't like you know torrent or anything. And water ski, right? So he's like, oh, it's really hot. Anyway, I got up on the water skis and I was like skiing like right away, like right away. Like it was like, yeah, all right. It was almost like, and everyone's like, never been water skiing since, honestly. But it was like, yeah, all right. You hold on to the thing, you go this way, you go that way. It was like, yeah, it seemed pretty easy to me. I mean, I'm not going to become a water skiing champion, but it was like I didn't have all this baggage. That's the thing about the pages. They don't have all this baggage of like, oh, oh, I'm not athletic. Oh, I'm not artistic. Oh, I'm not mechanically inclined. Oh, I'm not. They don't have any of that. They don't have any of that. So it's like, and the thing is that if you have a passion, or a new passion has been ignited towards something, Go with the passion. Go with it. Go with it. It's like, oh, but the past, oh, please. Who knows, what'll be. And, you're going to be practical about it. And the other thing about this card is he looks really carefully. Um, he doesn't overextend himself. I'm not saying, oh, well, gee, Jeffrey, now that you mention it, I always wanted to be a water skier and I bought a boat and I bought water skis and it's like, maybe just go to a place that you can pay them a little money and try water skiing, because you're a Virgo, you're very practical. A change in passion, another change. Look at that. This is what I get from it today. This is, I'm not out in the cold. Spirit's here with me. Like maybe in the past I felt I don't really belong there. And it's I, like the passion, the spirit is here with me and I'm going for it. Right. There's a really interesting story of there was a guy in the Gemara, which is like the Jewish book of law, and his name was Rabbi Akiva, and he was 40, and he couldn't even read or write, and he would sit with the children, right, learning, and they made fun of him, because they're children, and he became one of the greatest scholars. He became one of the greatest scholars of the Talmud, of the Gemara, one of the greatest of the great. And yeah, so it's like, who's to say? Because he had the passion, because he had the fire, because he grounded his desire and he worked at it, and he became one of the greatest. Really interesting, right? It was like that story. All right. I have a new idea. It's illuminated. This is 35. Interesting. My passion has changed. I mean, I'm not going to be a dummy. I'm going to look at it really carefully and be really practical about it. But there's a change emotionally, passionately, and maybe financially. It's also about time. It's also about time. Now, I'm confident. Doesn't matter what other people say. I have the high ground. I have a new direction, and I'm the more I work at it, the more I'll learn. Uh, yeah, it's all new territory, but I'm going to go for it. There's a lot of creative energy involved in it, and uh, you know, whatever, the heartache was the heartache, but that's not now. This is now, and the now is that I'm beginning something new. I also feel like this guy, the way I describe him, is that he built an oasis in the desert. He built an oasis in the desert. It's like that's how I feel about him. It's like I have the energy of youth. You don't necessarily have to have youth, but you have the energy of youth and the energy of optimism and the energy of, yeah, right. So I was walking by uh, some place over here, and it had free, what was it? Free kickboxing and free karate. And it's like floating around in there. And then I was also talking to another guy at the meetup. Did I tell you the story about the other guy? About I don't know. And there are free salsa classes. And it's like, I don't know, one or the other is going to eventually hook me. I'm just at the moment. But I feel like there's something Like I need to get into a physical uh understanding or class or something. I'm not really quite sure what it is yet, but it'll reveal it. It's a truth. It'll reveal itself. And the one that like seems interesting, or maybe someone cute's going, I'll go. See what happens. You know, maybe I'll just keep on, you'll hear me outside. There's like a dance class going on, right? People will be walking by and you hear them go, ow, ow, ow. That's because I'm stepping on everyone's toes. I don't know. I really feel like, really, for overall, for everyone, it's like it's really time to step out of the box. It's really time to do new stuff and like take a risk and take a chance and be a fool, and who cares? I had a swimming, I had a guy who was teaching me. He was really like my swimming coach. And I was like, how old was I? Probably in my early 30s. I mean, I swam when I was a kid, but this guy really, really helped me. And I really learned how to swim properly. Um, and for a little while, we were like 3 weeks or something. We took some ballet classes, right? So it was me and him and all these 14-year-old girls. And you know what? We had a blast. We had a blast. And it helped me. It helped me. So it's like, you don't have to do it forever. Try and see it if you like it. If you like it, then, then go with it. And if it's, if not that, you'll try something else. It's cool. It's cool. But it's like, acknowledge that passion, whatever it is, and try it. See what happens. See what happens. Give yourself the gift. Give yourself the gift. Blessings.